Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So this video will be in continuation to my previous video regarding the inspection preparation for RightShip, internal audit and other PSC inspections. So let's get started. So in this video I'll be talking about bridge procedures and the mandatory bridge posters that need to be displayed on bridge. So let's get started one by one. We will talk about everything starting from the starboard side. First, yes, you need to have the Marpol map. This should be of a latest edition, and again your garbage management plan policy for segregation and color coding. This should be it is required to be on the bridge. It is better if you put it near display near the garbage bins, but here if you should have it on bridge. If does not matter, but it is better if you put it there. And then pilot boarding set arrangement for rigging pilot ladder. This should also be there on the bridge, posted on bridge. Your LDIS lamp. If you have LDIS lamp, port starboard, how many? You should have the symbol, and again check for your LDIS lamp. Your bulbs should be 3 spare bulbs. Check from the battery if it's working. Check from the source, should also be working. And again the battery should have a record. When was the last time was battery inspected? Should be a weekly record. This should be done by electrician. And also make sure if an inspector asks you when and how are you charging your this battery for LDIS lamp, then you should be able to answer this. Generally this is electrician's part, but you should know it is usually 6 months you charge the battery every 6 months. If you are not using the LDIS lamp. So if you are using the LDIS lamp, then yes, you have to charge on a regular basis, and if you are not, then it is required by SOLAS that you charge every 6 months. Then again you have your maneuvering characteristics. So this is the maneuvering characteristics, and this is your visibility criteria. For maneuvering characteristics there is a catch. The one you can see here, this is the old one. By old I mean this was the initial original maneuvering characteristics of the vessel when was the vessel delivered, and same this visibility, this does not change unless you have any changes in your hull or superstructure. But this is the original maneuvering characteristics. But the catch is this was done in 2005 or 2002 when vessel was delivered. But after that there is a regulation that came. Some ships have EPL or Shaw poly installed. Then you have, after installing EPL or Shaw poly, you have to do a maneuvering characteristics again. So for that they will basically come and check, show me the maneuvering characteristics after the EPL has installed or with the EPL. So what basically EPL is, it's limits your engine power limit. So if your engine RPM and power is limited, then also it will affect your turning circle. Then all the characteristics should be present here. This is maneuvering characteristics at EPL for ballast condition and for loaded condition. Just make sure you have this. This is now in very trending. Everybody who's coming on board, they are definitely coming and checking this. As you can see, this is my power, and at this is my maximum RPM with EPL. I cannot go more than this. If I have to go to more than this, then I have to override my EPL. So this is 82 RPM is the maximum I can go, and this is the maximum power I can get at 82 RPM, and the speed is this. Okay. Then coming to, should be displayed your company, in short your company policies regarding your ECDIS, like what is your policy for calculating safety contour and everything else, and what will be your look ahead setting for coastal approach and deep sea. Everything that is concerning should be here, like UKC policy and overhead clearance. Just I will show you. This is my UKC policy, overhead clearance. Then this is your cross track. What is the as per company, what cross track you are required to keep. And if you're posting this, and if make sure if you're posting this, then your passage plan should also be in accordance with this. Okay, cross track is another story, but everything else like shallow contour, how you have calculated, then your position fixing interval, this is very important. If your company says once per watch, this is once per 4 hours in deep sea, then there should be an evidence that you are carrying out this every watch. Same with coastal and approach. For my company it is every 30 minutes, so make sure you are having every 30 minutes. This should not be by GPS, this should be by LOP. And again, this is the look ahead settings, so please make sure your look ahead settings is also correct for your approach. Should be whatever your setting is for approach. Okay, then coming to the VDR. So for VDR you should have a procedures how to retrieve your data and how to save, and again your error codes. If you are having any error here, with the code will be displayed here, then you should be easily able to find out for what code what is the alarm and what is the meaning of that alarm. So this error code description should also be here, and also you need to have a procedure for VDR data saving and retrieval. So this is the alarm unit, but the main unit is inside, so I will show you there. So there's no need to put here, but you should have either of the one place. So this is basic for VHF. Make sure all your cancellation guidance, then how to send distress alert. All the watchkeepers must know how to send designated and undesignated distress alert. They must know. So this is very basic. It should be there. For BNWAS, yeah, they will check. The BNWAS should be on always. Does not matter if you're at sea or anchorage. But make sure for at anchorage also you need to keep this on until unless you are at berth. Then only you are allowed to keep it off. Otherwise, at all periods of time, you make sure it is on. When coming inspector, they are checking your BNWAS failure alarm. So this is the BNWAS failure alarm. So they will come and tell the electrician to cut the source, battery source. Then there should be an alarm here. I mean, to cut the power source, then your BNWAS failure alarm should come. So this is, they are also checking. This is your LD slam box. Okay, so coming to ECDIS, so I'm not following this practice, but I would recommend that you also follow this practice, because I'm going to make some changes now. You should have some play card posted here or somewhere convenient, saying what is your safety settings and what is your current week number. Okay, so it's better to have one play card saying my safety contours, shallow contours and deep contour is so and so. So this, it is better if you place one here, and if you want you can also place for your current week number. That also you can place if you like. Yeah, for radar, they are asking you to show me how you do a PM test, and then they will check your record for PM test. So basically you should have a record of performance log by all watchkeepers. And then again, our mighty compass error you should be taking every watch, but make sure all officers are taking at least once per day. But with once per day you can save yourself, but if you make like this, then there will be a question why nobody is taking it. So we are at sea, there is no problem, but before the inspection make sure you are taking, like here, before the inspection you need to do something like this. Take all compass errors every watch at least once per day. Even if you have overcast, make some bullshit entry, but it is better you make. So inspector is coming and definitely checking this. Especially as I have seen chief officer, they don't usually make compass error. If you don't have a cadet, then just tell chief officer to make some bullshit, or you can tell captain, or whatever the procedure is on your board. For gyro compass, foremost, all your gyro headings must be synchronized with your main gyro, repeater, master and repeater. Everything should be synchronized. Once it is synchronized, then the inspector is coming and checking when was the last gyro service was done, and also along with this they are checking your deviation card. For deviation card, I'll show you. So there are basically two cards. So one deviation card is from shore, which is valid for 2 years, should also be posted, and one deviation card is by the vessel. So this is by the vessel and this is valid for 1 year. So make sure both of your deviation card have same deviation. I mean, the difference should not be huge. 0.5 to 1 degree is acceptable, but make sure they are both in line to each other. And also whatever compass error you are taking, the deviation in the compass error should also be in line with your deviation table. Okay, now coming to telegraph, then one placard should be posted. The officer of watch have unrestricted access to navigational system and communications. This should be there. You post it near the telegraph, then it is better. Also coming your instruction for main engine testing, and in case of emergency, what actions you need to carry out regarding the main engine should also be present near the telegraph. Then again, your working language is English, should also be present. Like for example, working language on board is English, this should also be present. Then also some posters regarding your SMS and ISM, what is required as per ISM and SMS, there should be there. Okay, so this is important. You should have a maneuvering booklet. If you don't have a designated maneuvering booklet, then print out sea trial and you can put sea trial and you can tell them I don't have a maneuvering booklet. They will not question you if you have a sea trial, but should be posted. They are checking maneuvering booklet, capacity plan, general arrangement plan and damage control plan. This should also be on the bridge accessible. And again, yeah, your fire plan. This must be present on bridge. Also your muster list, along with muster list, if your muster list is by rank, then you should also have a crew list. But if your muster list is with rank and names, then you don't require a crew list. So make sure if your muster list is without rank, without name, then you need to have a crew list. Otherwise there is no need. Then master standing orders, and this is your emergency contact list for that particular port. Be very careful to prepare this. You should have this, because if you are arriving to any port of inspection, they are coming and checking what is your emergency contact list for this port. This is important. I mean, this is the emergency contact list. Then again some ISM policies, again as per your SMS. Also one thing is also this important, your stability condition report. So this is my vessel's stability, current present stability condition report. You need to also paste it. Just take this from chief officer and also paste this on the bridge. So please you can pause the video and make an entries and write it down what all you need to have on the bridge. So regarding navigational lights, so this they will come and switch on all backup and upper and lower to see if there is any alarms. All the lights on Christmas tree, they should not have any alarms during the inspection. Also they will come and do the breaker test. They will take out the breaker and then alarm should come. And also they will test this on the battery. If in case of power failure, your navigation lights should be capable of running on battery. So this two tests they will check. So better you communicate with electrician and you carry out these two checks before inspection, that your everything is okay, all your navigation lights are okay. Then for your echo sounder, you must be able to demonstrate this shallow depth alarm. So they will come and tell me, they will ask you to show me how you do a shallow depth alarm. Then you must be able to demonstrate the shallow depth alarm. So as I'm at sea, so I have kept it off. And then when you are arriving at port, then you should select a correct range. Like if your depth at that particular port is 9 or 7, I mean UKC, if you are arriving at a particular port and your undergale clearance is less than 10, let's say 7 or 8, then you should put the range at 10. It should not be like your undergale clearance is 7 and you have put this on 20. So that means you are not alert. So make sure you do this. In regard with your master clock, your time, ship's time on your master clock must match with the GPS time. 1 second up and down is not a problem. I've already made a video on this, how to adjust your clock. You can go and check out. I will also put on I button. Then your course recorder. For course recorder, it's simple. They will ask you what is the inspector will ask you what is your present heading. You will say 090, and then the inspector will come here and check like it's really 090. It should not be off. Make sure if it's off you have corrected it. So yeah, this was regarding course recorder. I mean, your heading on course recorder and your actual heading must match, and also the time. And all entries that you make here should be in UTC. All the timings on the course recorder must be by UTC, not by local time. Even if you are writing course recorder off, that time also you need to mention what time, but the time should be in UTC, no local time. Okay. Okay, so for the facsimile, they will ask you when was the last weather report you have taken out. So you must have a log for that and record, and should be signed by all the duty officers. Same with your nav station. Check all nav station is present for that port. If that check if you have nav station, or some like Brazil and Australia, they don't have navtex. So what they do is they are sending coastal warnings by EGC. So make sure if there is no navtex, then you have not selected any stations here, and your coastal warnings is coming on your SAT-C, and your SAT-C EGC must be enabled for coastal warnings. So another important thing is your certificate from the chart provider. So this you must have and posted on the bridge, and your squat tables for your squat in restricted waters and squat in open sea should also be posted. And again, your SBM shore based maintenance certificate should also be posted. So yes, if anybody is coming for inspection, they are definitely going to check your nav area warnings if you are maintaining nav area warnings. So this is how I used to maintain. I simply tier all the nav area warnings, and I make a file like this, and I put all my warnings in place. So you need to countersign against every nav area warnings and write if it's out of the way, out of route, or if it's inside, then you need to write plotted. Like I have written here plotted, then you have to write plotted. And all the list of the nav area warnings you need to maintain. Like here I am maintaining like this, and this in circle, that means that I have plotted. So it is for my reference to easily find that particular nav area. So that means nav area 484 is already plotted and is coming in my route. And other cross means is expired, so you can put cross. This I continue for all the nav areas. This is best practice. All nav areas are very handy. Again, for your weather messages, these are my weather messages. Also make sure all your weather messages are present for that particular voyage. It is recommended that you keep all the weather messages for your present voyage, and then later you can discard when you have started a new voyage. And also all the duty officer and master must countersign for all weather. Then this is the proof for weather facsimile should also be present. Okay, so your pilot card is very important. So you need to make sure all the entries in pilot card is correct. So generally what mistakes they do is, second officer, what mistake they do is, the speed and RPM should be same RPM and same speed as per your maneuvering characteristic. You put the same. So what happens is, before somebody made an error in typing mistake, and then we continue to print the same, so that error is always carry forwarded. So whenever you are joining a ship or you are going for any inspection, make sure this information is correct. Then again, there is something called EPL override time. First you need to mention your EPL at what power and at what RPM. then you need to mention what is the time required for your over TPL override. This should be as per your EPL booklet. Make sure this information is correct. If you are in doubt, just check with chief engineer and get this information, because this is now very important. If anybody is coming on board, they are definitely going to come and check this. So this EPL, whenever and wherever is mentioned, make sure this is correct. Your power, RPM and the time, these three should be correctly present in your pilot card and in your master information exchange booklet. Also this should be correctly written. Also your NP 133C, please keep it fully completed. And then your publication, all new publication you must have. For example, passage planning guide for 2025 if you are doing Singapore SOMS. Otherwise, for English channel you should also have the latest one. So now generally what they are checking is your ITU publications. Just a moment. So ITU publications, this one, the manual for use by Maritime Mobile and this so and so. This have come a latest edition 2024. Earlier it was 2020. So now they have launched a new edition 2024. So make sure you have the latest ITU publication for the manual for use by Maritime Mobile and whatever. So make sure you have the latest edition of this publication. I mean, should be all three, but this is latest which have come now, 2024 edition. Also for the information, MSAR, this is the present edition, MSAR 2022. So now coming edition is coming 2025. So also make sure you tell your chart provider to provide you with the latest MSAR manual, because when comes 2025, every inspector will come and check this 100%, your MSAR manual 2025 edition and your ITU publication. They are definitely checking this one manual, should be 2024. Also for your publication, you must have a list of publication and which should state what publication you have in hard copy or paper and what you are authorized to keep as a soft copy. Then I mean you should have one list where you can show to the inspector like I maintain all my publication records in this particular list. Also regarding the checklist, so make sure you are complying with your company's checklist. Whatever checklist you are having as a ship specific, company specific checklist, especially for ECDIS handover and your watch handover, these are the main. And also you must be familiar with your company's SMS, especially regarding policies regarding the bridge and regarding with ECDIS and your navigational equipments, because the inspector will come and start straight away asking you, show me this, where is this policy, where you can find this, he will straight away start giving you questions. So make sure you are well versed with your policies and so at least you can tell him, okay, I will find out, so you know exactly where to find out. Now coming to the bell book entries, your bell book should be completed as soon as you arrive or you depart. Basically as soon as you arrive, you need to complete this and keep this ready for inspection. Main entries I would say is your just normal procedures. And what are the main entries I will tell you is helmsman on bridge, master on the bridge, then when was the con with the master, what time you do steering gate test, and what time you have tested your main engine. The timing for main engine should be same at your telegraph printer, and the timing in engine room and on the bridge should be the same. What time is pilot on board, then what time you are carrying out master pilot information exchange. Then passing boys entries is very clear. You need to write which boy you are passing. I mean there should be some entries for this. Then your con handed over to duty officer, all fast. These are general timings. I mean just follow your company policy for filling entries in bell book, but I have already told you what is the important. Con with master, helmsman on bridge, telegraph tested, and your main engine tested. These are some important timings that you need to have.